When talking about NBA superstars, future Hall of Famers, guys who have won MVPs, if not multiple MVPs, the most scrutinized guy in recent history has been Nikola Jokic. And until last year, a lot of the media, even some fans, they questioned just how good this guy was. Now, for today's video, looking at revisionist history, you have Gilbert Arenas, former NBA player turned analyst, saying Jokic and Luka somehow have been given a pass by the media.
I've never seen something in my life sounds like this. Russell Westbrook has a triple-double season. That's considered stat patent. Jokic and Luka has almost a triple-double season, and that's, whoa!
Great basketball.
Great, oh my God, they almost got it. We should kind of round up for them. The fuck are we rounding up for when the person who actually got one, we're like, ah.
So stopping it right here, the revisionist history is simply astounding. And looking at Jokic first, the idea this guy in 2021 and 2022 just got universal praise, 100% approval rating, is downright false. I mean, some of the takes from back then, from Nick Wright, Kendrick Perkins, they were attacking Jokic even in the All-Star game when he was benched in the fourth quarter. That's how bad it got.
And Jokic doesn't start the fourth quarter. But then he'll come in when there's a substitution. No, Giannis comes in. And your team, Monty Williams, coach of the year, goes centerless rather than play Jokic. And I'm the hater.
And of course, when it comes to Perkins, that infamous take that Jokic only won MVPs because he was white, that'll live on in infamy as one of the worst takes of all time. And for Gilbert right here, I just couldn't help but catch a twinge of Perkins 2.0. When discussing these guys, he frames the argument as Westbrook, he got hated on and discredited, and Jokic and Luka, it's just praise 24/7, he put on his white guy voice, and said those guys get no criticism. The narrative he's trying to build right here is very Perkins-esque, saying Jokic and Luka, they're basically the Great White Hope 2.0, and someone like Westbrook never got his due credit. Now, of course, on numerous levels, this take is embarrassing and downright false, as just last year, less than 12 months ago, Kendrick Perkins said Jokic was a stat pattern.
Nikola Jokic is having his numbers padded? Is that what you're saying?
You heard what the hell I said.
Jokic in 2021, especially 22 when lost in the first round, he was catching hell every single summer. I mean, to already forget this 2 years ago, these guys' memories must be that of a goldfish. And look, this take might have some merit to it if Russ in 2017 didn't win the MVP. But the way Gilbert's framing it, the media and fans just brushed it off, they were nonchalant about it, that's not true. Of course, Westbrook has detractors, still has them. I mean, Colin Cowherd back then was his version of a Nick Wright. But let's not get it twisted. Russ in 2017 overwhelmingly won MVP and had a great approval rating. Where Westbrook kind of got done dirty where it went wrong was after 2017, especially in the playoffs. As from 2017 till 2019, playing in OKC, 3 straight years, he lost in the first round. Was it all his fault? Of course not. Point being though, Russ's triple-doubles MVP season, it resulted in no championships. And of course, for superstar players, that's what you're judged by, fair or unfair. And again, looking at Jokic, his first MVP, lost in the second round. Second MVP, lost in the first round. And of course, 2023, when he was robbed of MVP, went on to win the championship. If Jokic last year lost in the second round, even the West Finals, he would have caught immense heat. Because even in 2021 and 2022, minus Jamal Murray, MPJ, he still caught flack for not going deep in the playoffs. And looking at Luka for 1 second, why he's even in this debate, I really don't know. Luka just yesterday turned 25 and hasn't finished his 6th season. Russ in 2017, he was 28 years old and in his 9th season. What you have right here is an attempt to build a narrative off a false premise.
Here's a media trick. Lucas just did something, right? He's averaging what? 52.7? Right, 52.7 totals. That's the most since what, Kareem? He's averaging 52.7 points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, they said it since Kareem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying Westbrook didn't average that a few years ago when he averaged 52.7.
They wasn't thinking about the stat.
So Westbrook, so it should be since Westbrook. And when Westbrook did it, it should have been since Kareem, but they didn't do that. So they manipulate everything to make it seem like something.
If you want to talk historical philosophers, guys who had immense wisdom, Gilbert Arenas is at the top of that list. And that quote at the end right there, I mean, it just spoke to me.
They manipulate everything to make it seem like something.
Now look, getting serious for 1 second, Gilbert's entire, I would say, basis for this argument is built off a stat I don't even know if it's true. I mean, I dug for this stat for about 30 minutes to an hour, couldn't find it anywhere. And the stat he's referencing is points, rebounds, and assists combined for an entire season. And up till yesterday, Luka Doncic, for that number, was at 52.7. The exact same number as Westbrook in 2017. And of course, according to Gilbert, Kareem in 72 had a combined 56.0 with points, rebounds, and assists. That's according to Gilbert and his stat man. Now, assuming that stat is right, Gilbert is correct. Just to show you guys how dumb their points are. This entire stat, this entire narrative, is built off semantics. I would say technically Luka Doncic at 52.7, it is the most since Kareem in 1972. Now look, was Russ tied with Luka? Yes, he was. But when talking about the most since a moment, it's actually Kareem in 72. Because again, Luka and Russ are tied. What you have right here is just random nitpicking looking at semantics to build some narrative that again is not there. And here's the funny thing. Luka, 2 days after this clip, dropped 45 points, bringing his total to 52.9. It's not some case of a grand conspiracy to erase Westbrook, discredit him, and just ignore him from the history books. That's not the case. What you have right here is a random stat, a niche stat, that myself, I couldn't even find.
And the fact that you got to compare two other guys that are playing right now to the guy who's still playing and he's not playing at that level, they want to discredit that.
No, when he was playing to that level, they didn't mention it.
I know, but
and then,
they could mention it now.
No, but I'm saying when Luka did it, when Luka's doing it, it's the person he got to be compared to is since
right.
Russell. You can't skip Russell like
That's
it didn't
what I'm saying.
exist.
They don't want to credit because that would be crediting.
But
Russ.
That's what I'm saying. But that's media. They see someone do something, and he's doing it so well and making it look so easy. They say, that doesn't count.
Now, cutting it off right there, that clip just babbling nonsense, complaining about a random stat for no reason. And out of this entire argument, no substance, no data, no real anything, just feelings, opinions, nothing grounded in actual facts. And if Westbrook in 2017 was so reviled, so hated by the media, answer this question. Why in 2017 did he win the MVP? I mean, obviously at some point Westbrook had the media on his side. And I would say in 2017, like I said earlier, the majority of the media and fans were actively rooting for him to win MVP. And if you want to get down to specifics when it comes to the quote-unquote media, I still don't know who they're talking about. But if you want to talk about voters for awards, All-NBA teams, stuff like that, I mean, Russ, 2015 and 2019, he got some pretty great accolades and acclaim. Second team All-NBA, 2 first teams, again second team, and then third team. And for an entire 5-year stretch, at worst, was top 10 in MVP voting. If you wanted to say Westbrook in 2023 had harsh media critics, guys gunning for his throat, then I would believe you. 2017, not so much. And looking at this random stat, points, rebounds, and assists, I mean, honestly speaking, Did you know that was a thing till this moment? I didn't. If you want to look for a Westbrook hater, stop looking at this stat. Look at Lakers fans, Colin Cowherd, and especially Skip Bayless. But unfortunately for these guys, they're taking this one stat and extrapolating it into some grand narrative and grand conspiracy that simply is not there. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.